On the environmental front, one of the key strategic developments of the last month or so has been this tremendous pair of droughts that have been unfolding in the Amazon and in North China. In the Amazon, they had a once-in-a-century drought. It was described as recently as 2005. This one surpasses it, which is kind of stunning if you think about the frequency. Why it matters, it's very much centered on the Amazon rainforest, which is obviously under tremendous distress in a general sense from deforestation as Brazil seeks to take advantage of global food demand, the rise in terms of demand and price. So a lot of deforestation going on. But the other key thing to remember about the Amazon rainforest is that even though it's only 7% of the world's landmass, it produces roughly triple that percentage share in terms of the world's oxygen. And what's happened with this drought, both in 2005 and the bigger one in 2010 and 11 now, is that because of the tremendous die-off in trees, we actually see the Amazon rainforest go from being a net creator of oxygen to a net emitter of CO2. And not just a little bit of CO2, but a tremendous amount, putting it on par with the United States. So a tremendous reversal of fortune, or a reversal of forest, if you will, that is really disconcerting when you think about the kind of incredibly vicious cycle that's created here, because climatologists are basically saying that the primary cause for the extended droughts that we're seeing in the Amazon rainforest has been the rising surface level temperature of the Atlantic waters neighboring the rainforest. And so it's sort of like the ultimate self-licking ice cream cone. It's the global warming as expressed in warmer sea temperatures that's creating the drought, which contributes to higher CO2 emissions, which in a vicious circle creates even more global warming. So this is a self-licking ice cream cone that even melts itself, so to speak. So very disconcerting as a sign of climatic change. And more when you look at it in terms of the twin development in China, reminding us of the tremendous pressures that we're feeling planetary-wise in terms of the rising food demand and how we're altering the environment to meet that rising food demand. China, by and large, has been self-sufficient on wheat, but it gets 2/3 of its national production in terms of the winter wheat crop. And the bulk of that this year is actually threatened by an extended drought in the northern plains where it's planted. And so we're looking at China buying up to 1 million ton of wheat on the global marketplace. Not a huge number. Egypt is actually the biggest importer in the world. But when you think about the tightness of that market and the incredible rise in the price of bread recently, this is obviously not a good time to be disturbing global markets with a new player coming in and making substantial buys. So it's obviously a good time to be in the wheat business. The United States is sort of the Saudi Arabia of wheat. We've been cranking out tremendous exports in the last weeks and months, kind of indicating our reserve capacity, and thank God for it. But our argument, especially when you think about Egypt and the cause of its revolution, the price of bread drives most revolutions. We think the East and the West should definitely come together and provide Egypt with the sort of emergency food guarantees and aid that it needs to help it get through the period following this revolution.